Good evening, everybody. Manic Exorcism here, welcoming you to episode 2 of Manic's Tea Party. With me tonight, Dan, and apparently the cat wanted to join in, Ozzy. So, we're keeping him away from the camera.
I don't want anything to fuck up.
We're so fucking professional anyway.
Might as well.
Might as well.
We didn't destroy this cat.
No.
See?
Well, we didn't destroy a cat in the first place. Rob did.
Maybe I shouldn't have said this cat.
No, not yet. Oh, God, hate mail already.
Yeah.
Tonight's tea is provided by Tranquility Tea Shop. Very good Earl Grey. Perfect kind of tea atmosphere you want to set when you're watching something like, well, I don't know, Nekromantik fucking 2.
Yeah, part 2. Since we enjoyed the first one so much, we figured might as well
watch it.
The second one.
I bought both of mine from the same guy. Nice fella. He wanted to sell me part 3. I can't see how part 3 could be any worse than part 2.
Well, we went into this thinking it was going to be pretty darn good. The first one.
Let me just say right up front, I did not like this movie at all. I was excited about it. I wanted to see it. Part 1, spectacular. Now, if you like Nekromantik 2, you're going to have to excuse me. I didn't like it. I found it rather boring.
Yeah,
how about you?
There's a lot of slow parts with it.
Yeah.
Maybe they're trying to let you understand the character, but
maybe.
One of the problems with it is that we found this out right away. We got some characters confused.
Very confusing, because the story doesn't really fill in who is who necessarily. I think it's because in the beginning there's very little spoken. Well, to give you an example, Betty, from the first movie, she shows up momentarily around the first 20 minutes of the film, and she has maybe, 3 minutes of airtime. Betty, who was a very important character in the first movie, really shows up and does nothing. Because the main character of this movie, whose name is Monica, she is rather obsessed with Rob, the anti-hero of the first film. In her apartment, she has pictures of him, like newspaper cuttings, cutouts of him on the wall.
Because he was pretty crazy, so she
found it inspiring, I suppose.
Yeah, and come to find out, she's a corpse fucker too.
Well, you can't have a Nekromantik 2 without having corpse fucking in it, people.
So, he was the idol.
He was her idol. She loved him. So she goes and at the very beginning of the movie digs him up. This is very unique. I like a sequel.
We forgot to mention in the last one.
What's that?
Well, he did die.
Well, yeah, there's a spoiler right there.
That's a spoiler,
There's a spoiler. If you haven't...
But if you're watching this, you've probably already seen it.
You've probably already seen it. If you haven't, what the hell's your problem? If you've not seen the first one, why the fuck are you wanting to hear a review of this one? You want to hear a review of this fucking movie. Anyway, yeah, Rob does die at the end of the first movie. And the movie ends with a very strong cliffhanger of somebody digging him up. That somebody is who? Monica.
Make sure you keep this in mind. It's Monica.
It's Monica. The reason why we're saying that is because we got her confused for this other girl, and we're thinking, where the hell did Monica go?
Well, I think they changed the actors. I think they changed the actors, so you're kind of confused. You're like,
alright, yeah. See, Betty does show up, and she... Apparently, Rob's become quite the ladies' man as a dead guy, because Monica digs him up, and just the very next day, Betty shows up. The same Betty who left his ass in the first film and says that she'd rather spend the best days of her life, or years of her life, with somebody else, and that he's a deadbeat, blah, blah, blah. So, since he's dead, she figures he's a little bit more interesting now. And she's rather pissed off that his body is gone. That kind of creates a problem when you want to fuck a dead person if the body's gone. Somebody's already robbed the grave. That's the last time you see Betty.
You never see her again.
Never see her again.
You see her ticked off, and you're thinking,
I was actually excited.
See her later, and she'll do something crazy.
Oh yeah, I thought she was going to hunt down Monica, and I thought that there's going to be a weird triangle between Monica, Rob, and Betty.
Yeah.
No, nothing that creative. There is a love story in this film.
Yeah, which occupies half the film.
It
it's
occupies most of the
romantic
film.
than necrophilic romantic. This is like everyday romantic.
Now this movie does start off strong, and like what Dan's saying, in most of the film's romance, we will get to that. But this film starts off very strong. Monica robs his body. She takes him home. He's very gooey. I think that I will have to say that the corpse in the first movie He was gooey, slimy, nasty.
Well, she ends up, she throws up.
Well, hold on, you're getting ahead of yourself. She undresses him, she gets on top of him, and she gives him a blowjob. Well, apparently she sucks down some nasty liquids and fluids, and then she throws up. So the movie starts off immediately with a corpse blowjob. Yeah. Casting a pin in the ass. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty epic in and itself, but they don't show you anything, so it makes it kind of, I don't know. You're almost dizzy because the camera work they used.
The camera work makes you think you're drunk.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. It looks like you're
have
drunk.
to wonder if the cameraman was drunk. As if George, the director, looked at this and said, yeah, that's fine. Well, who cares? Well, the weirdest thing about this is, this film, Nekromantik 1 was filmed in 87, released in 87. This was released in 91. You would think that they would have had a little bit more time to put into the story, or to develop the characters or something, and develop the whole idea if you're going to make a sequel for Nekromantik. But, like what Dan was saying, you see Monica, she has sex, she throws up all over the dead corpse, and then we're introduced to the second character of the film, Mark. Now that's where it got confusing, because apparently Mark's got a girlfriend. He's waiting for her at the theater. She's 10 minutes late. Monica shows up, and they start dating.
Yeah,
he asks her to go to the movies with him.
And they're watching a great film. They're two naked people eating eggs.
This movie within the movie was actually very symbolic of what this film was. Very slow, very dull, very odd. And like Dan said, the movie was about two naked people sitting in a dump yard, or outside a dump yard, eating eggs.
Yeah.
Fun.
And they're just talking. I mean, it's not like they're talking philosophy or...
What the hell were they talking about? What the fuck were they talking about?
They weren't even talking about eggs. They weren't even talking about anything. And they ate a lot.
They ate, yeah. It's like they're having an egg eating contest.
They had a lot.
But
they had probably about 10
But listen,
eggs.
nobody want to hear about this. But that's the problem. That's what this fucking movie is like. This movie is filled with that. And if that's not enough, this movie has a musical montage of let's call her Nicole. Monica singing. Who the hell knows what she was singing about?
Yeah.
It wasn't translated. It wasn't translated.
Well,
and that goes on and on.
It's supposed to be kind of mystical. You don't know what she's singing about, but there's no reason for the scene.
So many of these things had no reasons.
But it was in the middle of a part that had absolutely no... Like, you're watching a dating scene, and then in the middle, I mean, quick flash. I mean, there's nothing to do with a transition. They're like, it brings this girl singing, and...
No explanation. No.
And then it goes back to the dating.
Yeah.
You're wondering...
Actually, no, wait. I know. I remember what spurred the song montage on? He found the penis in the refrigerator. Mark...
Was that what?
Oh, yeah. Mark falls in love with Monica. They're quickly becoming a pair. And the next day, he slept over and he's...
that was Rob's penis. Whatever.
Yeah, she kept
Rob's
one thing
penis. I wanted to talk about, too.
She kept Rob's penis in the refrigerator. Mark, the new boyfriend, finds it, and then musical montage starts. Why?
Well, even before, I thought was really interesting. I thought that was kind of weird. But, she had to break up with Rob. She had to break up with Rob.
He was starting to decompose too much.
So she cuts up the body, so easier to get out of there, I suppose.
But she kept parts.
She kept parts.
The penis,
but she wore an apron and she wore rubber gloves because
she didn't want to touch it. It was too nasty. But she just sucked his dick.
Yeah, she just had sex with him. Like,
I mean, Betty and Rob were corpse fuckers. Monica was kind of a wannabe. This movie was very much... It was very bland. It wasn't... The shock value really wasn't there. The music was okay. The acting was good. I will say the acting was good. But the characters were uninspiring. The characters were not half as interesting as Rob and Betty from the first film. There was a darkness, almost a suffocating, throbbing atmosphere throughout the first film. trying our best to understand exactly what they were trying to get at, other than they wanted to make something. I think what it was, I'm trying not to be too critical on this film because it was well made. The editing's terrible. But it seemed like they wanted to make something so far away from what Nekromantik 1 was that they went too far. They made it... Because they could trick you into thinking this was just a love story.
Yeah.
And that's really what it was.
And then the ending was pretty...
The ending was great. Just like the ending of the first film was awesome, the ending of this movie was, I would say... Equally awesome. Equally awesome.
And then they even took it further to make it, you know, over the top where you just start cracking up because you're like...
Yeah, I guess that makes us terrible people. We were laughing.
Yeah, it was so ridiculous that you couldn't help but laugh, but you're like, what?
I think it was nice to have a little relief because we were so fucking bored.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's not that we don't like meaningful, sympathetic, romantic stories or whatnot. I personally love Moulin Rouge. But this, it didn't fit in. I mean,
I can't believe you made a Moulin Rouge.
I like Moulin Rouge.
Romantic.
I'm just saying, if I want to watch a romantic movie, there are movies out there I will watch that are romantic. If I'm watching a movie fucking called Nekromantik 2, I kind of expect corpse fucking, shock value, disturbing images, disgusting scenes, not fucking strolls to a park, the zoo, and the carnival. Bullshit. Anyway, do I recommend this movie? Not really. Not really. Not unless...
Fast forward to the end.
Well, the ending was definitely worth it. It had a nice build-up. The last phrase was excellent. I don't wish you had to spoil it away, but the ending, I have to say, the last phrase of the movie was awesome. I loved it. The whole movie, it kind of redeemed itself a little bit with that ending.
That one line.
One line. And the look on her face is just so, she's glowing. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Just that beautiful motherly glow. But, when I recommend this movie, I would only recommend this film if you've seen the first film, Nekromantik, and you're thinking, oh man, I want to see how the story continues. Oh, well, okay. Watch it then. I don't really recommend it other than that. I mean, if you want to be like me and own both films, and one of these days I'm going to end up Nekromantik 3. Yay,
whenever we finally get to that point, we'll have to review.
Well, it's an unofficial sequel. It's made by the same guy, same people, but it's an unofficial sequel to Nekromantik 2, so we'll end up seeing that. I mean, people are asking me to review Squirmfest, for fuck's sake. Oh, yes, people. There will be vomit. People have asked for slaughtered vomit dolls. People have asked for Squirmfest. As soon as I can find these films, I guarantee you, Manic and Dan will be having a Manic Tea Party to celebrate all those fascinating, wonderful films that not too many people know about. So if you like these kind of things, stay tuned. What do you think's going to be in the future? Cannibal Holocaust? I Spit on Your Grave? Sallow? Oh, we're going to have to watch Sallow again. You know we are. That's the first movie I watched with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the first one.
I hate him. Well, you brought over the one
Inside.
First I showed you. You showed me Inside. I showed you Sallow.
Yeah.
That was mine.
The first one we saw together was Inside.
Yeah, it was Inside. Now the French horror films, we're going to start getting into those.
We'll have to. Well, if you want to, we could do a review of that one.
I would love to. So, if you like these kinds of films, if you're into the Splatterhouse, if you're into the gore movies, if you're into shock films, this is Manic Exorcism, welcoming you and inviting you to a Manic Tea Party. Enjoy. Hope you enjoyed the reviews. Manic loves you. Take care. Manic out. You have anything left?
No, I'm tired of this film.
Fuck you and leave. This film sucked. Terribly.
Maybe I'll
Save yourselves.
I'll take a piss on this thing's grave.
Piss on it.